Welcome to the Dad and Cole Football Patrol.
What's up, guys? I'm Dad.
And I am Cole.
So, Cole, we are going to do, this is always one of my favorite videos. I think we've done this. I think this is our third season we're covering for the NFL. And I think we've done this each year. We take a look back at the playoff picture from the previous season, and then you and I each make a pick or two about a team from each conference that was in the playoffs last year.
That's not going to be in this year.
Exactly. So, dude, let's have fun with this. Let's go ahead and get started.
So, Dad, let's look at the NFC first.
Okay, buddy. So I'll let you start. The floor is all yours. Who do you see? And actually, let's do this for the fine folks out there. Let's quickly recap the NFL teams from last year in the AFC. So please do the honors.
So for the NFC, the 49ers, Packers, Saints, Eagles, Seahawks, and Vikings. So those were our NFC teams.
All right, buddy, so here we go. Who from that group are you not seeing making a return to the playoffs in this upcoming NFL season?
So the Seahawks and the Vikings. So I'm going to start with the Seahawks.
Okay.
I don't like the Seahawks because I think that Russell Wilson's getting a little older.
Interesting.
And
he played a heck of a year last year. Might have been.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
But he doesn't have the best wide receivers in the world. Compared to the Bengals who have Tyler Boyd and AJ Green. So the Bengals stunk last year.
They sure did. So I kind of get what you're saying. You think the skill set even on a worse team might be even slightly better for them. I would slightly disagree with you because I think
this is slightly about me.
Because I think DK Metcalf is a beast. I think Lockett is a burner. But back to your point, you just think that Wilson's getting up there a little bit. The skill set around him's not so great. You don't see...
I love Chris Carson as a running back and all, but he's not the number one like Le'Veon Bell used to be or something like that.
Well, listen, there's why I agree with you. I disagree with you on the receiver piece, but from the running back, because Penny was hurt, Carson, I think, is good, not great. Tight end is lacking there, so I'm with you on that.
He used to actually be a pretty decent player.
Yeah, so I agree with your premise about the skill guys, except for the receivers. I do think they're solid. Okay, so you're not seeing the Seahawks coming back, and who was the other team, the Vikings?
Vikings.
All right, give me your thoughts on them.
So I love Adam Thielen and all. It's just the quarterback. Cousins isn't like that all-star person who can just go down the field, chuck it 100 miles like Aaron Rodgers.
Now, he did kind of have his kind of breakthrough moment last year, getting a playoff
that was Kyle
win finally.
Rudolph who saved him.
So you're still not buying into Cousins, though. No,
and
you don't like that.
They're tight ends. I don't like Rudolph that much either.
I don't even. Is he back with them this year? Yeah, he kind of had a good sort of resurgence here last year. But listen, Rudolph has not really been the guy. I think that organization
like the Gronk used to be.
Listen, I'm with you on that. All right, so you got the Seahawks and the Vikings not returning.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
Their running back situation.
Okay, now we like Dalvin Cook, no?
But he's had a little injuries and stuff.
A lot, yeah.
Because we were doing a mock draft last night, and someone took Dalvin Cook with the 6th pick after me, and I didn't really like that pick.
Thought that was too much of a stretch. Okay, now quick question for you. Let's revisit your Seahawks real quick, and then Vikings, because it's the same question I'm going to ask you. How do you feel about those teams as far as the division? Clearly, I know you don't think they're going to perform on the division if they're not making the playoffs.
Oh.
But did you consider the teams around them in their
Seahawks,
division?
They have the toughest, the second toughest division probably.
Yeah,
in the
I
whole
think it's the
entire
toughest. You and I have talked about this. So, yeah, I agree totally. And then what do you see out of the Vikings division?
The Vikings, that's where I think that they're the 3rd or 4th best division. So they still have some talent that they're competing against because Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams, that's a deadly triple duo.
High powered. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And the Lions, they're pretty good with their receivers. I kind of like their receivers.
Galladay, I like him too. I'm with you.
Who's the last team again?
The Bears.
Khalil Mack, their defense was awesome that one year.
Legit, agreed.
But
we don't see it with the offense,
no.
Right? Even with St. Nick now being in the Bears. I agree with you. I think overall the Vikings had the easier path to try and get back. However, I think to the Seahawks, I agree. The hardest route possibly to get
Because,
back to the
like, they have the
playoffs.
49ers who just competed in a Super Bowl.
Cardinals who are coming up. They got the Rams, who I think might be in store for a bounce back. So
Yeah, because,
that's
like,
interesting.
Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
So,
no, high powered. Okay,
yikes.
all right. So there's your picks from Cole in the NFC, going with the Seahawks and the Vikings not to be back.
Now let's go to you.
Yeah, so Cole, I am gonna hurt my own heart here right out of the gate. And
Yep, I know who you were going with.
yeah, I don't see it for my beloved.
I agree with you.
Yeah, for my beloved Eagles making it back. I think we're possibly the third best team in the division. I think the teams around us
You think the Redskins
got
are better
better.
than you?
I think that with Chase Young, I think with Rivera there, I think some young skill guys like McLaurin, I think the defense, I think they're going to be a handful. I wouldn't sleep on them to just, and look.
Hurts. Like, what was wrong with that move?
Wait, who?
Hurts. What was wrong with that
Are you
move?
talking about the Birds? Yeah, and I think our draft was suspect. I think our offseason was suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I have major questions about the skill players around Carson. I love Carson. I think the line is aging, though. The defense, I think. So I don't see a path back to the playoffs for the Eagles, and it breaks my heart. But look, we keep it real here on the Dad and Cole Football Patrol,
it's not like
right?
you pick favorites.
Yeah, I can't do that, and I can't just get on here and talk about what my heart wants.
And their defense is, like, that's an old defense.
Yeah, no, listen. So for me, the Birds, I don't see the path back, but God, I hope they prove me wrong.
They should have got Justin Jefferson instead.
I think the entire city of Philadelphia agrees with you, Cole.
So who's your second team?
Yeah, this might shock some people out there for different reasons other than my first pick, but I'm not seeing it for the New Orleans Saints this year. And this is just like a gut hunch. I know on paper, the track record, the talent, all the things are there.
You saw what Michael Thomas did.
Yeah, and they got Emmanuel Sanders as well. I think a great upgrade at
God.
receiver. But I think that division is tough. I don't think it's tough as the West, but I think it's tough. And
with Brady coming into
yeah,
that
Brady
division.
coming in, the skill set down in Tampa. And here, dude, I think Atlanta is a sneaky team this year.
No.
I think they're sneaky in that division. I think they closed strong last year. Sometimes that doesn't mean anything and it doesn't carry over. But I just think that division's a handful. And I think at some point, there's just a time where the Peyton Breeze thing is just not going to connect. It's just, listen, it's a gut feeling for me. Sean Payton and Breeze have been...
It's like Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, they've been super dominant. Who am I to question them? But again, it's just a gut hunch, so I don't see the Saints coming back in the NFC.
Breeze is also aging.
He is, right, and I think that's going to catch up with him at some point. All right, Cole, read us the AFC teams that were in the playoffs last year.
Ravens, Chiefs, Patriots, Texans, Bills, and Titans.
All right, sir, thank you. So let's hear it, buddy. The floor is yours. Who from that group is not returning into the playoffs this year?
The Patriots and the Texans.
Okay.
So,
I think the Patriots are obvious reasons, but let's just hear it real quick. We won't spend a ton of time on them.
So the Patriots obviously is with Brady gone.
Yep.
But, like, he was getting old like Breeze.
Yeah.
So, like,
I think that
understand the move.
The offensive around him, I think, more concerning to me because I think Newton is
I'm very scared about that tight end position there.
Tight end, receiver, running back. I mean, all of it. I think Newton's a solid pickup, but I don't know that the pieces are there.
He's also aging.
Yeah, and right, he's banged up too. So, all right, so I think we kind of see that the same way. Good call for you. And actually, I'll just go ahead and say it right now. They're one of my picks also. So
same reasons as me.
Same exact reasons. We don't need to belabor it. You and I both don't see a path back for the Patriots. Who's your second team out of the AFC?
The Texans.
Oh, now this one is interesting. So let's hear your thoughts. They made a big trade. DeAndre Hopkins out into Arizona. David Johnson comes back. But they did replenish the receivers a little bit. Randall Cobb, Brandon Cook. So tell me, though, what are you thinking? What are you seeing that's lacking from their path back?
Well, the Cooks and Randall Cobb thing, like, decent signings.
Yeah,
it's not like
barn burners, decent.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair way of saying it.
And the David Johnson and the DeAndre Hopkins thing, that's not really a fair trade anyway.
Yeah, so you think they hurt themselves with Hopkins going out, getting Johnson returned. You don't see that as being any way improving the Texans at all?
No.
Okay, now how about the division at all? What are your thoughts about them, the other teams? That you got the Colts.
Well, I have some more points for
Oh, yeah, please do.
So, like, Hopkins leaving, he was their biggest, like, dead point. like he like was a burner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like he was like pretty much a like Michael Thomas kind of.
Yeah, arguably top 5, top 3, maybe even receiver in the league.
Deshaun Watson, like he's a great quarterback and all, but like if you were in an All-Star game, I wouldn't take him as your number 1 quarterback.
Okay.
Because like competing in that conference, and if they make it into the playoffs, they might have to compete with Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes.
Okay, and I think easily, arguably, those 2 guys I'd rather start a franchise with.
But this is about who's not making it into the playoffs. So they're not going to go into the playoffs.
Okay, listen, I think you made a solid case there for the Texans.
So who's your second team? You already said the Patriots. You agreed with me on that.
Yep, I agree with you on the Patriots. I'm going Titans, and this is not to say
they crushed the Ravens, who are having a wonderful run.
Yeah, but listen, I don't look. Not every season just translates over, and you just are on a straight line trajectory in the NFL. So listen, yeah, I don't necessarily see a repeat performance out of the Titans. This is not to say I don't think they're building the organization right way. They're a team. A team on the come up, but that's a tough division as well.
True.
I don't, although the Jags, obviously, we think they stink. So, yeah, look, I think that the Titans are building an organization the right way. I love their brand of football, tough defense, grinding out with the running game.
Jarrell Casey.
Yeah, I just think that there's a bit of a comeback to the mean for Ryan Tannehill a little bit. I think that offense is great for him. He's not asked to be the everyman, and he made great throws last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's pieces there, but again, this is a little bit of a gut hunch. I think they come back to earth a little bit, but could be for the long haul, building things the right way. But when I look at the playoff teams last year, not everything is always a straight line trajectory up for teams. There's kind of like a step forward, sometimes a step back process in building.
And if they do make it into the playoffs, like I said, for the Texans, they'll have to compete with the likes of Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, and again, we're not really worried about what happens once you're in there. Are they going to get in there or not? And I don't know. I just see them not. That was kind of a magical carpet ride last year for them. I don't see a repeat.
They got lucky.
Yeah, well, listen, they earned it. They grinded. I'm not going to say they got lucky. I don't know if that's fair, but I don't know that they're repeating that performance either. So I'm going to say the Titans don't make it back this year.
Leave a comment what teams you don't think will make the playoffs that made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's right, guys. You heard the debate and discussion Nicole and I just had. We want to hear from you. Leave a comment. What team from the playoffs last year is not returning back this season? And then what else, Bubs?
You guys have to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, I guess they don't have to, but we really think it would be cool, right? We'd be honored for the support if you could hit subscribe.
You should subscribe.
That's right. We'd appreciate the support. And I guess that's it, right, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. See you next time.